People don't know what is coming, do they? They have no idea. I feel sorry for this. They have no idea. Any day that all of you gang up to support your one Nigeria garbage, the more you're digging your collective graves. Nigeria can never ever be fixed. It's broken beyond repair. It can never be fixed.
TV News.
Great dear friends, lovers of freedom and seekers of justice all over the world, I greet you. Great Nigerians, I greet you all of you who are occupying the space we know today as Nigeria. You are a wonderful people. Just unfortunate that we have the people who have been conniving with Western forces to keep us prisoners in our own land, keep us slaves and helpless. I greet you all and I thank you for standing strong till today, because it's not everyone. You hardly see the country that will resist or absorb the kind of shock, the tension, the humiliation that we have endured all these years from those who are supposed to be our leaders. Thank you all. Great God, we bless your name. We thank you for today. We thank you for everything you've been doing for us. May your name be exalted in Jesus' name. Amen. I don't know Igbo, I don't know Menana. Today, I want to use this opportunity to follow the footsteps of our great leader, our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Okwu, whom we all must stand up for. And also I want to follow the footsteps of our current leader, Mazi Simon Ekpa, who has demonstrated wisdom in his speech after the Nigerian election, which Biafrans refused to validate, but did not force anyone who wishes to demonstrate his political rights, his civil rights, so such as they have just demonstrated. Just unfortunate that what happened, which we already knew happened. So I want to specially thank Mr. Peter, His Excellency Mr. Peter Gregory Obi, yes, and all the millions of Nigerians who stood very strong, standing for their conviction that this is the man who has got the capability, got the capacity to take them away from the shambles the Nigerian state and the living shadow the Nigerian state have become in the recent years. Your Excellency, Mr. Peter Gregory Obi, you are our elder brother, so we thank you. We thank you for allowing God, like Mazi Simon Ekpa stated, to use you. And like he rightly also stated, there are many countries of the world who have been, taking our agitation as unjustified. So a lot of these countries, as they had their eyes in this Nigerian election, they've been able to see clearly that everything we cried about is just, we did not even cry the way we should. So we undercried. So it's now very crystal clear to even other Nigerians from other parts of the country, other tribes, up north and down north, down south and along the mean, they actually couldn't pretend anymore. They voiced out. A lot of them, they were captured on the social media saying, if you have so sealed it that the Igbos, especially the Igbo part of the Biafra, are not worthy to drive the ship of Nigeria, then why not let them go and manage themselves? This is now cry coming from other tribes in the Nigerian state. No more us. So we thank you for that. Thank you for that. So for all our condemnations, our battles, our offensive words we used on you, Mr. Peter Gregory Obi, Your Excellency, and our senior brother, we are sorry for that, even though we were crying for a just cause. We were crying justly, even though our steps before nature cannot be held evil. But we still say, so, Your Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi, similarly, I personally, in my own as a person, I am admonishing you to not to relent. You can go ahead pursuing your election adjudication. You can pursue your litigations now in any possible way you know best. You can pursue your litigations, but in so doing, I want to point out something to you. Those who were there at the collation center, those who were there battling, shouting at INEC, confronting Professor Mahmoud, whom for me today, I also congratulate him. I thank Prof. Mahmoud. I thank him for also allowing God to use him, just like God rightly used President Muhammadu Buhari. So I thank God that he couldn't pretend about the nefarious activities of the Nigerian state against the Igbo man. I thank God so much, and I thank the supposed professor who did not pretend in any measure. He did not pretend at all. So he had to act in such a dastardly manner. He had to rub it on the face of the Igbo man. And I thank all of them, including Nyesom Wike. I thank all of them, Olomo, Dix, you call him, what do you call him, Obaseki, and all the way they have shown the Igbo man that he is not worthy. Their brutality, their abuses of power, and all the derogatory statements they used. And I thank Nigerian police, Nigerian army, who were also accomplices in the electoral malpractices that were just too obvious. And I thank all of them who were there as military agents, military forces, the paramilitary, the police, who were there, who were side by side with Olomo when he tells the Igbo people if they must vote, they should go to their villages and vote and not here. If you are voting for Labour Party, like Wike said, make sure you go and do that in your village. So I thank all of them for allowing God to use them in rubbing it on our faces and also reminding us that we are very ungrateful people who could not understand all the sacrifices of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, whom Elohim, whom our Supreme Creator used in unraveling the evil menace, unraveling the unheard of humiliation and intimidation that Nigerian state have always unleashed at the Igbo man. He also awakened even the people from the north, the ordinary masses from the north. That was why they all trooped out in solidarity with Peter Ob's presidential ambition, knowing that amongst all the contestants in this 2023 election, that he's the only one who has what looks like vision. What looks like vision amongst his contemporaries. Now, what am I saying? Ordinarily, I have never believed in this saying, but the election also proved to me that the Igbo man is not worth sacrificing for. The election and our recalcitrancy, which I called allowing God to use us, all of us in our measures in making sure the election came to play, was a quick reminder. It was a pointer to the fact that Igbo man sometimes doesn't deserve some excruciating, some serious sacrifice like Onyendu just gave. I want to remind Obi, in this your litigation pursuance, when you have any fact of malpractices, any evidence of malpractices, make sure you don't share it with all those political bird bugs, all those political bed bugs that were there making noise at the collection center. That was what I was about saying before I deviated a little and I am back again. The likes of Dino Melahi must be resisted. Make sure, because the next is that they want to share ideas, want to share intelligence on what you have, so that they can preempt it. If you have evidences, keep it to yourself with your team, and in your team, be very careful the people who are in your team. There's a lot of political jobbers, political bedbugs, I call them bedbugs, and all drama queens. Because the next thing is that they will be looking for how they will stab you. They hate you. That name Igbo, they hate it. They hate it. They hate your intelligence. They hate your natural acquisition. And that also reminds me. As I have just said this, it doesn't also refute what I'm about to say. For all of you who are seeking for litigation, who are seeking for expecting justice, like I have been following that since the electoral thievery that just took place. That particularly, well, I will not particularly, because a lot of people who were raising alarm, injustice, crying, failure of democracy, system failure, they are crying. Obi, my brother, I am telling you that anything is even possible. I don't even trust anybody, but no problem. I don't even trust even your vice, but no problem. In any case, he is a sound man mentally. He's mentally sound, but the soundness of his mind comes to question. When he saw evil, he never pointed to it, but when it got to affect him, he is pointing to it. Nnamdi Kanu was in the court, and everybody knew it was this injustice that happened to you that Nnamdi Kanu have always cried for, like we are crying. And the first court, normally we say in our legal maxim, we said, Nemo Judas in Kasishwa. Nemo Judas in Kasishwa. That legal maxim means that you cannot be a judge in your own case. You cannot be a judge in your own case, because in your own case, you will not want to indict yourself. But imagine Nnamdi Kanu's case, and how fair, and how seeing and following how nature has supported his cause, how God has himself been with him till this date. Even the same enemy's court, the same court of the same person, the same entity, freed him, and even apportioned fine on the same, on itself. The first court at Umuahia State High Court, the second court at Federal High Court Umuahia, and the third court, which finally discharged and acquitted him, and still supported that he should be compensated. Dati Ahmed never for one day pointed at the unfairness. Dati Ahmed never pointed out at the unfairness of the system, not even for one day. Dati never saw it an injustice. I am just using Dati now. All these people who are now crying for unfairness, injustice, this now shows you how wicked an average Nigerian is, how selfish an average Nigerian is. Nigerian state will make you become so unfair deep inside you. Now they are crying the failure of the system, Nigerian system. They are crying the failure of the electoral system, the failure. Just yesterday, 2014, 2015, Dino Melahi was everywhere, jumping on the top of his voice in jubilation, dancing and demonstrating all sorts of crazy drama that he's always known for. While the other man was there, crying on top of his voice of injustice. Jega, this is unfair. Jega, you are a criminal. Jega, you are this. Jega, you are that. Then Dino Melaye was mocking him. Was that not Orubebe? Today, the table just shifted. I am telling you why Nigerian state will never work. Because an average Nigerian, that name alone injects some kind of unfairness. It makes it inherent in an average Nigerian. You only cry when the system fails you. You only cry when you feel affected. But when it affects the other man, that is why people say, Eburu nko onyozo, odekebu. Eburu ozo onyozo odekebu nko akbaka. You can see how biased we are. Now Dino is crying today for the same injustice, and he is now, drawing the sympathy of many Nigerians, and those who are not well equipped with history, who doesn't follow political antecedents, they are sympathizing with him. Oh, Dino is a defender of democracy. Dino is, but that's not true. Just that the table shifted today. So the cry of corruption and unfairness in Nigeria, it's only about when the table shifts, not in your favor. But whenever it goes to your favor, any other person can cry you a bucket of tears. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Does it matter? No, it doesn't. If you can remember, just yesterday, Adams Oshomole was crying of Obasanjo's injustice. Today, Obasanjo is crying of Buhari's system injustice. I remember, for some of us who are following Nigerian political antecedents and development, we remember how Obasanjo clamped down on all enemies. There is no state that Obasanjo did not show his evil. Tell me, today it's Obasanjo that is leading P2B everywhere. He want to correct it, crying for redress, How do you want to get a redress? In the democratic dispensation we are into today, you brought the evil. You brought the systemic evil. I have a lot of things to point out today. When Fayemi was elected, it was you, Obasanjo, who removed him. When Adams Oshomole was elected, it was you who turned the election. I remember, a lot of you people who doesn't follow history, any little thing, you give accolade to some of these people who made you the mockery all over the world. Anywhere you see Nigeria go to work, you will see ordinary Filipino. Ordinary Filipino is seen more worthy than a Nigerian. What does a Filipino know? You see, we are naturally, our human development, we are so naturally blessed. Every Nigerian who goes outside, especially those who find themselves overseas. But if you go to all countries of the world, how Nigerians are treated like people with plague. I am telling you, these are the kind of things you will have to live with when you keep I want to tell you something again. The name Nigeria is just name. All the paraphernalias, they doesn't add to life. What does it cost you to have a new state? I mean, what will it deny you? What does it benefit you to keep crying for one Nigeria? The name, it's just about societal arrangement. This is just nomenclature. It's a nomenclatural factor. It doesn't have anything to do with your physical life. That name, Nigeria. So, when you say the state of Nigeria dissolves, you're not doing the Igbo people any favor alone. When the state of Nigeria dissolves, what we have to do is we will succeed in cutting off the Western influence. And we reorganize our society, our own selves. We will no more have gibberish of document called constitution that is imposed by the white man. The election yesterday, the British Prime Minister just congratulated Jagaban. Now I ask you, is this how election is done in UK? And I'm asking you, the one Nigerianist, is this how the UK people conduct their own election where a governor will drive into a polling unit and his boys will, because a particular person who is not supposed to be a leader, who is not supposed to rule, who is not supposed to win the election, is having the consent of the people. The people want him, and the governor doesn't want him. The other governor will be there and come out to say it with his mouth. The other one also acted it out. He drove in. After just 3 minutes, his convoy left the scene. His boys came back and scattered everywhere because Obi was winning. And the British Prime Minister saw it. Even the European, because he's no more part of the EU, the European Union observers even said, no, this type can never be addressed to as an election. And we are talking about the budget for the election, 400 billion naira. You know what that means? 400 billion naira is enough to put facilities that will organize, that is enough to stand establishments that will employ, if I am not, more than 900,000 Nigerians within 2 years. Yes, as I'm telling you. I know how many poultry farms, many piggeries, and many other things that they do. Now, these medical trips that they are taking everywhere, 400 billion naira can stand, well equipped with modern facilities, will stand complete 8 modern hospitals, even when they will be small. That way, all the opportunity for them to go and lavish our money overseas, they will go and get loan, and they will use it. They will now share this same loan and write anything. They will now send back the same loan, go and spend it there overseas. Those that will dump it in their banks, their foreign banks, they will do. They told you that the election, the Naira policy, a lot of you were applauding. Hey, CBN has come with most plausible policy idea. Nigerians can be too sheepish. We can be dangerously sheepish. Why won't they keep robbing you? Why won't UK keep using those comprador bourgeoisies to deal with you? Because you are too punny. Your mental strength is too weak. I don't know what to attribute this kind of mental myopia. You are looking, every year they will bring one thing, they will use it. Why do you still allow these elections to go on? Not only that, now they stopped you. Now they stopped you from living your normal life for more than 3 weeks. They say it is in order to have a free and fair election, in order to have a what do they call it, so that there won't be vote buying. You see? Have you recorded this kind of vote buying before? Was it not in Port Harcourt that one of Atiku's agents leaked 500 million US dollars? It was distributed across all states. If in that Rivers, it's not the only one, because I think there were about 3 agents they gave that money in Rivers State, because Rivers is supposed to be the heart of the South. So they had to give more. Now check what that means. What is this man doing? What was his work before politics? And why is he having this kind of wealth in his position now? We call Jagaban. Who was Jagaban? And who is he today? How? So in the country you want to be, you want to live in a society where political class will be stronger than the state. You want to maintain such a state. You want to maintain such a state. Even our own brother who is capable, he still doesn't have even the political might to fight these people. He even is saying it. He's not pretentious about it. His own is that from now that I will become the president, I will stop corruption for my reign. There won't be corruption. So after your reign, so all the political, the criminals will continue with their activities. Or will you be a lifetime president? No. Any foundation that is built on the air, it will never stand. Because after every interview of if Obi will have the boldness, the morale to pursue, to go after all these people. And of course, Obasanjo now is the one projecting him with IPOB and the other general. Now, how will you go and fight IPOB? He said you can't do that. And of course you can't. How can you fight Obasanjo now? Obasanjo's declaration was 20,000 naira in 1999 when he was coming to power. He was financed by the party and especially Ojo Carlo and some other guys. And today, he is a multi-billionaire. Even, he's a very big billionaire just for being a president. What is the salary of a president? What is allowances? Let's assume for the 8 years Obasanjo was a president, he doesn't eat, even including his allowances. So assuming he wasn't touching his allowances, even Tinubu, all these politicians, assuming they are not touching their allowances, you calculate it for 8 years. This, I think, 3 million plus. So 3 million plus, this governor will eat for 8 years and he is super rich. Go and see the estate of Wike. Tell me, is this the kind of state you want to be in? You want to continue? You keep saying one Nigeria. Yes, Obi has better thing to offer than these people. It's so obvious. Nobody can argue that. But after your reign, what happens? What happens? Was Jonathan not doing very good? Even though there were leakages, Jonathan's reign was good. Yar'Adua's reign was good. But it takes, being that a system, we are into a fraudulent document. We're into a system that you know, sincerely in your mind, my brother Obi, you know you cannot change the constitution. You know what it requires. It takes only military might to do that, and you're not a military. And you're not even like all these notorious politicians who can jettison the constitution and operate. You are not that kind of person. You are a law-abiding fellow. So, you can't. Now the constitution has been placed to favor the Fulani man. You know that. Now, the kind of northern politics they play, the Fulani man dominates the Hausa people, and they go there and they are the Fulani people. They become the representative of the northern states, the Hausa states. So now we hear just the Fulani. So they cannot go to vote against themselves. That is why it is very clearly impossible for us to amend the constitution. Now that we are encouraging you to go, so that you exhaust all the options, exhaust all your options using the court. So follow up the litigations as much as you can, but never trust all these political bedbugs. That's I advise, because if you see what is happening, UK people that are coming to tell you go and get your PVC, Katrina lying. Who is always coming? Where is Katrina lying now? Now on the day of election, they're releasing now the Kanu to visit clinic in obedience to what court says over many months. Now the assignment is over. Now the Kanu is having now he is to be to have surgical operation now. A lot of damages have been done to his health. Now if Nnamdi Kanu is like a lot of us cheap people, us, a lot of us, even in the IPOB, he would have collected all the big offers made to him. And he will be far richer than all these political bedbugs you are seeing around. So, but he is taking all the pains, believing that you will come to your senses and understand that the Britain have surrendered Nigerian state structure to the Fulani hands. That was why, when they were constituted INEC board, you won't have an Igbo man. Anyway, they will put an Igbo man, they will put a gullible one who is waiting to take food that fall from the crumb of the Fulani table. Where are the Joe Igbokwe? He said that the Igbos don't know how to play politics. They cannot support one person. The Igbos cannot do this. Now, all Igbos, not just all Igbos, all Nigerians have now come to support one person. Joe Igbokwe, where are you? Go to Zamfara. As far as Zamfara, many people wanted Peter Obi. They still want Peter Obi to now. In fact, as we speak, there is a protest this day going on in the north. Not even yet in the south, in the north. They say they did not vote for Tinubu. They voted for Peter Obi. But the result is saying that Tinubu is the person they voted. That what INEC is giving. The INEC boss is telling you to your face that you can do nothing. In fact, if you don't like it, go to court. Because he's telling you, go to court, because you are going to court, you are going to meet my brother who will still rule over the case. So if you are not comfortable, now I am in charge. That even the Constitution has told you I am in charge. So if you are not comfortable, go and see your court, and see the court, where you will still meet me in another skin. You meet me again there, in another face. So, Iwere Bembaba. Everything comes down to one thing. You have seen how fast the way to give the certificate of returns, and you have seen how fast the British Prime Minister and his colleagues are running, solidarity messages, and you know how he was reiterating the fact that he will work with Tinubu's presidency. Yeah, that's how as bad as it is. And when we cry, pointing at this place, you people don't tend to see. How? Onyendu, when they told Onyendu about the results, I know how much he was crying. He was crying. My people will never learn. My people will never learn. Oh, after all my sacrifices, after all the pains, all the blood, after all my losses, my people never took my message. What was it? What was his message? Martin Nanikano said that we have created the awareness all over the world. Everybody now talks Biafra. Everybody now knows about the Biafra and our discontentment with Nigerian treatment. But now the problem is Onyeka Egeziga. His effort and where his assignment is, and he knows when to bring in somebody for another step of the assignment. Whom do we have? Who amongst us in the struggle have access to any government of the world? Who amongst us is made? Who amongst us cannot be dependent on the money from the IPOB post donations from people as stipends on allowances paid? Who? And he saw that someone was willing. He has the ground, he has the knowledge, he has the willingness, and he has the political connection. Now, the Finland government the president said, Simon Ekpa is a politician. He's not just a military bencher in Finland. He's a politician, and he also won election in the 2022 election. He won a political office, and the current president is of his party, and he has access to the president, and in many occasions he's been together with the president, and he did not just be together, he was able to relate our problem. And he was able to tell the president that our problem is we don't have one who will be able to present our case. And he was told, gather all the videos of killings and intimidations. And he was able to. Now, he was about going into confrontation in stopping the election. He was advised, don't use aggression, use peace. Then Simon Ekpa told everybody, sit at home. Sit at home. We sat as we could. Those who wanted to do otherwise, they did. That's okay. God has also used that to take us to another dimension. But what he wanted to have done is, we are seeking for a referendum which might take time to grant. Now he said that there is a second option for the referendum, which is that if you will sit down on the election day, and I will use the drones we brought in to video all the streets of Biafran land, all the provinces, all the coordinators, they will operate, because we already have experts who knows how to control drones very much well. They will get the videos of the street and how the street was a ghost town. At the same time, they will bring videos from all the states of other states of Nigeria and how the elections are going on there. And in our own, there will be only INEC and the police, the government forces there in the street. Then it will be taken. The videos will be all collected and forwarded to him, Mazi Simon Ekpa. His assignment would have been gone. He would just give it, compile it, forward it to the Finland president, and that would be okay. That would be enough. When he is coming to present his, every country in the UN General Assembly, every president or representatives of the president are to present. You have to make presentation. In his time for presentation, he will present before the House, and it will be played, it will be projected, and everybody will see it. There is something about Europe. In Europe, the Western Europe are more united, they are ganging up, uniting. Then the Eastern Europeans, they are more liberal, they are more free. They are not much into the gang up of the West. So, now when they bring table, everybody is looking for interest. Everybody is pushing to capture the soul of Africa. And in the case of Eastern Europe, their interest is not majorly to capture us for slavery again. Their own is that they want to maintain African relations, because the gang up from the Western Europe is affecting them. So they are doing what, that is why you were able to see what is happening in Congo, Brazzaville, Congo. You are seeing the Russian intervention and how it set the people of Congo free. You are seeing, I'm talking about current Burkina Faso. You saw the presence of the Kremlin military. They came in to help the people of Burkina Faso. And you see, for those who are following up the development, the international development, you see how the Burkina Faso people are now. They are now standing out in Africa. Go to Mali, 2021 or 2022, 2021, Russia also came. Because they know that Africa have been, Putin have said it numbers of occasions. In a number of occasions, he's said it. That Africans will never come out from their slavery until they reject the West. He doesn't stop saying that. He keeps saying it. And we are embracing the West. It was the West who were pushing our brother around, because they wanted to use him to quench the fire of agitation that was going in the high hills. They almost succeeded. Just that we had a very stubborn fellow whom Nigerian state is tagging a terrorist. Unfortunately, the international community doesn't accept that. In the Committee of States, people have diverse opinions. What they do to us is that our matters, the matter of Biafran agitation is blocked. Britain does everything to block it along the way. But here, what is it? What is it? What is it is we have a medium of now making our move and our information unbreached. Our information cannot be stopped, breached again. We can now convey because we are having sources, not just one now. So after P2B would have tried and his efforts of legal battle or litigations come to nullity or doesn't yield any fruit, any positive fruit, then what is left is for us to for once understand what we are taken for. I have my Fulani friend who just came to yesterday mock me by coming to tell me congratulations. I told you. Well, he believed that every Igbo man was obedient. He told me, and I told him that the election will not hold. He was busy. His interest wasn't even to answer me if the election will not hold or if it will hold. His own was to tell me that Tinubu is our next president, whether we like it or not. Then what is their interest in Tinubu's presidency? They are looking at his ill health. Ordinarily, if I was to be a Nigerianist, if it was when Tinubu was Tinubu, I wouldn't have any problem with it. But Tinubu was Tinubu and stopped being Tinubu some, say, 5 years ago. Tinubu's senses are no more like people are rightly saying. I feel what they are saying is true. Tinubu is into dementia. His mental capacity is dropping very, very speedily. So, I want all of us, for those of you who were crying all over the media, and for those of you who couldn't hide your emotions, and you were able to reel it out by saying that it is better Nnamdi Kanu remains in prison for the election to hold. For some of you who had the opinion, I will show you one of them. Some of them I have them here in my phone, but I can't bring them all over. You had the effrontery to say that the man who sacrificed everything in life, including his own very beloved parents, to seek for your well-being, even when he had his comfort zone in UK, he said, no, my people are suffering too much. He came to pay the ultimate price. And you had the effrontery, you had the temerity, the boldness to vomit that rubbish, that it is better Nnamdi Kanu remain there in prison so that you will get obedient. How far? How markets? I told you, you stop chasing these shadows. When they were constituting the INEC board, you saw the constitution of the people who constituted the INEC board. They were just Fulanis. The INEC goes Fulani, and you don't learn any lesson. The same thing Jega did, you are seeing it play back again. You say these are men of integrity, the same integrity of Buhari. That's what is playing back. It's not as if P2B is not qualified, everybody knows. But the fact is what Nnamdi Kanu told you, that no matter how qualified an Igbo man is, that they were told by their supreme boss that an Igbo man is an infidel who is not worthy of going anywhere close to the position of authority in terms of leading the whole country. They felt that any time it happens, the cliff, the grip of the Britain which has reposed the power of the Nigerian state and submitted the structure to them will be cut off. You can see that. But this is not the type I don't say I don't blame you, I blame you. It is very, very, very wicked of you. It's very malicious. It is very ungodly of you. It is so despicable of you. I'm telling you, even though I say Obi is qualified, Obi never stood for any Igbo interest all his life. Obi never stood for Igbo interest. And he make bold to say it anywhere he goes, so that the Fulani man will not have the fear of him coming to separate Nigeria. But even before his political ambition, the presidency ambition, he never defended Igbo cause. Never. So this is the man who has all his life defended you. What you have to pay him with is that he better remain there so that he don't come out to disrupt your presidency chances. My God go judge all of us. That's all I can say. So fellow dear friends, I thank you, and also I would be very unfair if I fail to thank those members of the DOS who are still in the truth. Even if they don't support Simon Ekpa and his positions, but they are still doing what they can do. But I still oblige you, some of you who are in the DOS in sincere spirit, into this Biafran quest, freedom pursuance. I oblige you to, once again, dissect Simon Ekpa's broadcasts, assess his positions again, and judge for yourself if he is really a betrayer, like some of the DOS members are projecting him. In your own, just go through his stance so far as much as you can, so that you know if really he is a betrayer, or your own grievance. Is it just that he is not an old member, or it's just that he is not an oath member as some of them were claiming, or that he is too small, or that he doesn't have what it takes, or that he's ill exposed, or that he is an illiterate, or that he is what? I don't just know. So make the judgment for yourself. Then if you don't find anything erroneous, and the one you found out is what is just normal human error, because nobody is 100% right, nobody is a saint. If it is those ones that can be manageable, it is important we rally around one person and keep pushing. Then if the DOS members can also come and purge DOS of detractors, purge the DOS of Satanists, that would be great. Then DOS can work again. That's my humble position and submission. The living Chukwumerije, once again, coming your way. Thank you. Thank you. Please remember to subscribe and share our videos. Like the video, recommend it to other people. May God bless you as you do this, because we need to know the truth. We need to know the truth, and we need to work together. Very important. Very, very important. We need to work together. Thank you once again. Bye.